a place we can go today, and it's a place where we all can play. Friendly faces, lots of fun, you see. And I know it's there for you and me. It's a colorful world we live in. There's a rainbow of faces everywhere, and everyone is beautiful for who they are inside. It's a wonderful, colorful world. It's a colorful world we live in. There's a rainbow of good times we can share, and every day is beautiful. Just look around and see. It's a wonderful, colorful world.
The seasons were changing on the island of Sodor. The air was growing crisp and the leaves had begun to change color. Everyone knew that that could only mean autumn had arrived to the island. That crisp autumn air is starting to set in.
And the leaves are changing again. Just the season I like.
Just because you got stuck on Gordon's Hill once doesn't mean you have to hate autumn forever, James. But can't fall be annoying? It has two names and kids always want to scatter the leaves everywhere. It's not just me, is it? I think you might just be the only one who has a distaste for autumn, James. James just sighed and got ready to take his train. Aye, it's time to reach the docks, Donald. Helping out with those delicate goods, right? Indeed. However, Zach just informed me that the shipment is larger than expected, and that James is going to help you out. Righto. Ugh, no. What's the matter, Dougie? James was looking forward to doing something with Gordon and Molly this evening. I think it was a festival or something. He's gonna be upset about having to pull these delicate goods. Because he's gonna have to go so slow. He'll miss that festival. Hey, that's exactly it. The twins were right. James was not happy to miss the festival with his friends. He stormed away to Brendon Docks. Henry, Rebecca, and Emily are all available. I'm sure of it. Why do I have to be pulled out so they can get this stuff delivered on time? Ach, James, glad to see you. That there's your first train. It's needed at Kirk Ronan for the repairs the wind brought. James said nothing. He just coupled to his train and set off. When James arrived, he was very impatient. Billy, uncouple me pronto. I need to get moving. Now, Billy himself is known on the island for being a very bubbly and impatient engine. But even he didn't want to rush shunting the supplies. He knew there were glass panes for the windows.
No, sir. We're making sure that no glass gets shattered.
James waited until stuff was unloaded and Billy shunted the trucks out of his way. Then he steamed away as fast as he could. James returned to Brendon, finding that his next train wasn't ready. Get a move on! I have important things to do.
Yeah, and I've got important cargo to unload.
Craigie finished unloading the cargo, but James thought he was ready to leave and stormed off, leaving half the train behind.
He never learns, does he?
Don't worry, Cranky, I'll take it. Later, as James was heading for Croven's gate with another train, he saw Thomas out of water on the main line. He almost switched tracks to pass him, but he remembered something he'd learned.
No job is more important than helping another engine.
Oh! Why, thank you, James. Yeah, no problem. After getting Thomas to a water tower, James arrived at Croven's gate and had to wait until the line was clear for him to return to the docks. He waited and waited. And as it started to rain, he began to get impatient again when Sir Handel arrived with a passenger train. James, what are you? Oh. Yeah, the line still hasn't cleared. Yeesh, I can tell you're not. You'd be if you were working until night and missed the festival you wanted to go to. So how have you been? Well, I thought I'd have been late. Piles of leaves and dirt blocked my line on the way down here. But the children enjoyed it when I ran through a leaf pile on accident. How so? The leaves flew past the coaches and the kids got them. I was later told that they were gathering leaves to preserve them in scrapbooks. Just then, Boko passed through and James's line was clear. I hope your day improves, James. James pulled away, and upon arriving back at the docks, found that Donald hadn't returned to collect his train. James decided that since he'd been traveling the same way with both his train and Donald's, that he would take the two of them together and finish both his and Donald's work for the day. James heaved along the line as quickly as he could. As he went along the line, he would do anything to help out. But the rain was making leaves stick to James and the rails. James closed his eyes to avoid the leaves, but didn't see a pile of them ahead. He slipped on the rails, and when he finally got a grip, oh, bother! I'll never get to the festival now. James had to wait for an engine to rescue him. As he watched the engines pass and the animals go about their lives, James felt the cold wind blow against him, and he started to relax. Peaceful. Not too long after, Murdoch came to take James to Knapford. Are you alright, James? Huh? Oh, I'm alright. I just tried to help Donald get his work done and overestimated myself. I understand. Come on, let's get you home. Murdoch brought James and the goods safely to Knapford. Then he took James to the steamworks. Next morning, Molly came into the steamworks. Molly?
The people at the festival wanted to give you this.
Her driver handed a workman a box. Inside was a drawing of James and Gordon, and an old toy of James.
Your efforts to help Donald weren't in vain, as you helped save the festival last night. The children wanted to thank you for your hard work.
Now, James has learned to enjoy all the seasons, and I'm pleased to say that he is fine with taking things slower and enjoying the softer times of life.